Hello, this is Hamster Bell Bell and welcome to my speed build video again on V's Apartments. The reason that I'm remaking V's Apartments is because I've recently come across more and better Cyberpunk CC and I just really want to make a new one. And in order to not cause confusion, I will be taking down the old video on V's Apartment. Well, not really taking down because it's the video with my most likes, subs. But I really don't want two videos of the same thing on because it's confusing. So the old one I will just set to private as keepsake. In this video, I will be redecorating V's Apartments with some new ways. And at the end of the video, I will also include a tour of the neighboring apartment, which I did not make a speed build of. I'm not really good at making speed build, mostly because I paused a lot during build. Like, I would put a few furnitures, then ran off to Netflix or play my hamsters, whatever. And another reason is that I kind of feel stressed and on the clock while video taping me building. Because I don't want my video to be too long, so I would tend to build very quickly and not look thoroughly for better options or choices. I know some builders would have a practice build, but I'm just too lazy. I like watching others build a speed build video though. Sometimes builders would turn one thing into a whole different thing, or maybe just seeing them pick out some items that I've never noticed before. Those are the things that I like to see in a speed build video. And since I don't do speed builds, so you can feel free to ask me like where to find them if you spot some items from my builds. I will be happy to answer you. And I also tend to list the CCs I've used in the description, partially because I want to credit the creators. Partially, those creators probably have more awesome CCs that I didn't use. And also, in case if you don't want to download the entire lot file, you can still find the CCs individually. For the second time when I'm building this V's apartment, initially I wanted to look for a new apartment to build that is nearer to my V's penthouse. But unfortunately, the two apartment lot area were either too big or too small, so I just go back to my old apartment where I used to build V's apartment. This metal thingy that you now see in the video next to the door, next to the entrance, it comes from the Jungle Adventure Pack. It's actually an item that I discovered while I was building the Afterlife that I found its metal texture is very suitable for the cyberpunk world. And again, I'm doing the built-in closet wardrobe thing that you first see when you enter V's apartment. And here I'm trying to look for a panel thing because in the cyberpunk there was a black colored shading door on half of the closet. And then I discovered those panels in The Sims, they were either too transparent. So later on I will rotate it with a tool mod. I will rotate this shelf, yes, the one I'm doing right now, with tools mod, and I'm going to use it as a door. There's actually an awesome update on Chisis Maxi's tools mod. I think it was it's not really recently, it's quite some time ago already, that now you can use tools mod within build by mode. And I also download Chisis Maxi's Better Build By, which the function that I really wanted is that it renames the debug item and like give them names. So if you like type pipes, then all the pipes will come out. And instead, like before, I will have to just type in debug and search one by one for any pipe objects. At first, I wasn't used to this new build by because at all the lineup in the game, the objects were new locations, new positions, so some objects I couldn't find initially. But then I found out that you could turn off the live items or debug items, and finally the items are showing like it used to be. So I'm just getting used to this new build by mode, but it's definitely much convenient than before. I tried to pick the bookshelves that matches the one in V's apartments. I didn't really like this one because it has plants. I don't see a lot of plants in apartments in a cyberpunk world, but the modern shape of the bookshelf looks good, and the others are just too bookish, so I kinda had to go with this one. Actually, I wanted to build a round wall with the raised platform, but because this is an apartment, so round platforms are not allowed. And in the video now, you see these are the modular sofa. It's part of the SimKia pack by Illogical Sims. This modular sofa is really very convenient. It can be formed with different kind of shapes, and I just use it in most of those club builds. And then I'm trying to recreate the black panel on a V's apartment wall. Initially, I used these platform items from the Spa Day pack, and then after much work, I realized, wait, no, I'm not. I suddenly decided I don't want to do the panel thing. That I wanted to build the shelf first. Okay, yeah. That's why I don't do speed build, because I just build this and then build that. I jump a lot from stuff, and sometimes I quit the game, came back, and I forgot what I was building, and I will just go to another place and build in another room. So yeah, it's quite jumpy. Well, yeah, anyway, so now apparently I'm building the shelves and yeah, and then I'm moving them with the tools mod. Anyway, let's fast forward to the panel thing that I was talking about. Oh, right, so initially I was trying to use some shelves to recreate the panel, some good old-fashioned shelves, but I didn't like it because you see me stacking here, but between stacks you can see a very obvious line, so I didn't like it. And then I remembered, right, very quickly all the panels are gone. I remembered I have this very awesome CC behind. I'm sorry, I do not know how to pronounce their name, but so I'm just going to type here. Yeah, by them, which is very cool because it's reflective and it's very cool looking. It just hypes up the place, like gives a very beautiful, like high class vibe. So I really like this black reflective panels. It comes with different kind of other designs and colors as well. And now you see me put up a very iconic cyberpunk light. I think it's the Kuroshia icon. It's by Moxus. Well, I'm sorry, I don't know their genders, so I think I will just refer to them, they. And they have just recently changed their Tumblr domain name, which I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it too. So I will just type it here on the screen. You can go check it out. They make very, very cool cyberpunk items, and very, like it resembles the game a lot, like very high quality cyberpunk CCs. So if you're into cyberpunk, you've got to check out their cyberpunk CC items. And now I'm placing the beanbag chair by KKB. I know in the game the beanbag chair was supposed to be on the left side. Well, left side of the screen, right side if you're coming from the door. But yeah, but because in this build I cannot push the wall further, or else the stash room would be too thin. No, too narrow, sorry, right, too narrow. So I had to like place it on this side. And I know in the game, in Cyberpunk, there was a board thing behind the beanbag chair, but somehow with the snowboard in The Sims, I just can't rotate it correctly, so I just gave up. And I put this this plant box by Sims for Life. Actually, it's Sims 4.1 and IVE. And also they make great CC, like very pretty, not just cyberpunk items, but some really cute things that I really like, and I download lots of them personally for my personal cute use. And this glass panel, it's by Pierre Sims. I'm sorry, I'm just not good with names, so I'm just really sorry if I ever pronounce any names incorrectly. But anyway, I really like this panel thing because before I used to just use glass fence, but those fences do not have the round corner thingy, so I really like this panel. And then I'm trying out different cabinets. In the end, I chose 3. The top row is from the kitchen set by Felixander and Harry, and the middle ones are by Peacemaker, and the bottom long shelf is by Illogical Sims, again part of the Simkia pack. Wait, I think I'm losing my voice now, so for most of the rest of the video I will just not talk and just listen to the music, and maybe I will make a few comments when the music dims down. Enjoy the video, thank you.
Hello! I quiet down the music before I start speaking first, so you will not be surprised if suddenly someone's talking. But anyway, this is the part which is the outside of V's apartment, but actually it's still part of the apartment. But I created a separate door, which you will actually need Twisted Maxie's tools mod to add that door. I added a food stall because in the cyberpunk world, on the ground floor of V's apartment there are many food stalls, so I thought I should add one. And in order for this food stall to function normally, I recommend using Little Miss Sam's Auto Employee mod for the food vendor to appear 24/7, so your Sims doesn't have to pay the 100 millions for the vendor to appear.
Well, this should be the end of the speed build. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.